You need to come closer to the mic. Anyway, fortunately, I had that record when Elvis came in the studio. He booked the studio for 2 weeks, and I had been trying to really write him a song. I really felt that, to me, Elvis hadn't had the top 40 reign in a lot of years. He'd been doing movie soundtracks and movies. And Tom Jones and people like that had taken over. And so I had to analyze it. I said, well, can he take it over? And I said, yeah, I believe he can. And so what does he need? I kept writing for a band. And finally, from 2 weeks to about 7 days, or 6 days, or 5 days, every time I go into the studio, one of the partners, a co-publisher, would say, Elvis is coming. I said, yeah, no. I said, you got anything? I said, no, not yet. I knew something was in the air. I felt it, I knew a great song was in the air. But anyway, it got to be like 2 days before he came in, and Don Cruz said, what about the old catalog? How do you think about the old catalog? I had Suspicious Minds 68, so I was going down the list, and not many songs there in the catalog in 68, but I landed on Suspicious Minds and said, wow, what about that? And then all of a sudden, I turned to Don Cruz and said, what about Suspicious Minds? About the same time, I turned around, and I saw a golden #1 boy just hit me like a sledgehammer. That was the song I'd been looking for. So, from that point on, I said, golly, I really feel like shaking. I said, this is a great one. But all I did was, lucky enough, I knew George. George had introduced me to Elvis twice. And I told a lot of my friends and George's friends, give him a listen to this. It's a great one. And so he did, and Chips played it for him when he came in American Studio, and he loved it and wanted to hear it again. He made a cassette copy, he took it home, and still loved it, and it all came off. But to make that kind of a record, that great of a record, you had a great producer, Felton and Chips Moment. It's Chips Moment Studio. He engineered the record, produced it with Felton. It was a great sounding studio. Great musicians that played on mine. They could make the record greater. And you had a promotion, RCA behind that, big time, and also #1 Elvis performance. It never bothers me when somebody passes on one of my songs because they have to want to sing it. You're wasting your time if they don't want to sing it. And of course, Elvis loved the song and he got into it. Anyway, my career with Elvis, it kept going, and I gave you 5 songs and had 5 singles. And you can't get any more belief than that. Somebody believed in me. So later on, George wrote the King of Rock and Roll, and I never wrote a song for Elvis. I mean, it was just a combination that worked. So anyway, I wanted to sit down and write a song for him, and I wrote a song called Blue Sweet Heaven for George's movie. And anyway, what happened with that is Kurt Russell was so good in good art production, it got kind of shelved, and eventually through the years the director passed away, and so, but it's a great